Yeah, the reason why you're probably scared of women is probably because you have a single mother. You don't know what happened to your dad. I don't know you. He probably died. He maybe died. Maybe he ran away. Maybe he divorced. But either way, you clicked on this video. You're gonna assume you have no father figure like I do, because I also don't have a father figure. Absent for 16 years permanently now. Very sad. And listen, the nuclear family dynamic. You've heard of this. The nuclear family dynamic. You have the father, the mother, and the children. How many children you'd want? Let's say two for this instance, just for a balanced point of view, or common, or more so to speak. Why are you scared of women? Well, yeah, I mean, the patriarchy dynamic in your family is kind of fucked. It's not me shaming you, but I've been through the exact same thing. The patriarchy dynamic in your family is very fucked. Right? Now, I lost my dad when I was 4 years old, right? So I don't have much memory, but I do have some form of memory, probably two, about 3 to 4 years old. 3 years old, I have some memory from when I was three. And that was great, man. He was a good guy. He was a cool dude, bro. Me and my brother, we'd get free haircuts from him. So cool. It was great to be around. I don't have much memories. Probably have like less than 10 memories I can even think of him, which is fucking sad. But the time I did have him, it was great. It was really cool, man. I miss him a lot. Even though I barely knew him. How crazy is that? Anyway, the family, the patriarch, the dynamic in your family is messed up. Because how it's meant to be, your dad has the masculine traits and the masculine values. Your mother has the feminine values. The dad's job to provide. The woman's job is to nurture. When those balances are tipped over, what's going to happen? Who's going to be the next leader figure? Well, not the young children. They're too young. Their brain's not fully developed. Hey, best case scenario, you have some form of siblings to properly ease the pain of comfort. Got it? But even then, it's tough. Their brain ain't fully developed. They don't know what to do. They can't lead, yeah? What are they going to do? So the mom has to take on the stress. So now the mom needs to adopt some masculine tendencies and fucks them up. I'm telling you, they're not hardwired to do that shit. Now, are there parents that can turn up and do it? Yeah, but they shouldn't have to, because best case scenario, many statistics to prove families perform best when there are two people in the household. And when that's stripping away from you, well, you're exposed to feminine energy, and I believe feminine energy is brilliance. You need that shit. You need that shit for the empathy, understanding, intuition, and eventually to have your be able to raise and nurture your own kids, whether you be man or woman. I've seen more prevalent with the female, as men are seen as providers. But even so, when you don't have that shit, when you're born without it, you never had that father figure. Well, as we know how women are with their feminine energy, they're ruled by their emotions, a slave to their emotions, if you will. That doesn't mean they're not smart, but they are hardwired to follow intuition. What feels right in the moment. And as we know, I'm going to assume you're a man, you may be a woman too, but even so, this can be somewhat universal as well. Either way, regardless of that, women are ruled by their emotions. And they act based off of impulse. As masculine men, gentlemen, we know that, yeah, I'm sure we've had days where we want to just completely lash out and do something that our emotion tells us to, but we know it's not a good thing. Like I use me, for example. I'm unemployed as fuck. Sometimes I get pissed off. I'm like, fucking no, let me just rub someone because I'm just so pissed off. I know I was wrong, so I'll never do it. And I've never done. Stuff like that. Keeping your emotions in check. Sometimes I'm just so pissed off, I want to beat someone up in public for no reason. And I know it's wrong, so I'm not going to do it. I know the consequence, you're going to go to prison. All right, cool. Last time, there was this one time 2 years ago, I was in a rush from college. I had to go back to college quick. I was on college break. Some guy was taking too long on the counter to just check his coins. I wanted to just push him over because it was pissing me off. Well, I was 18 at the time. You know what happens when you're 18? You won't go juvenile. You go in prison back with the rest of the big dogs in jail. I'm not going to risk that. All right, cool. Put my emotions in check. When you're exposed to, and when you're in a female household growing up like that, right? You constantly see your mom getting angry, all these mood swings and whatnot. Obviously, you're going to get scared. Your cortisol levels are going to rise. You're panicking. And of course, she's the authority figure. Now, it should have been your dad, but whatever happened to your dad, it was very unfortunate to even just have him out of the picture. And I don't need to know your story. And I don't mean that in like a I don't care about you type thing. I mean that as in it doesn't matter what story it is, but the fact that your dad isn't in the picture is already a massive red flag, regardless of the situation. It's fucked. Even if you were a bad guy and you left, it's just the fact you're wired to love your parents and you're wired to need two parents. You need that dynamic, that yin and yang. You only have the yang. So when you see when you see, and I'm gonna talk to I'm speaking to myself, guys. Here, man. When you see your parents get angry all the time, right? Specifically in this case, your mom. You don't have a dad. When you don't have a dad, you don't see that different dynamic, that different side to you that all men have. All men have unlocked, right? But now you never know. It's like kind of similar. Let me give you another analogy. Say you have a fierce lion, right? Gives birth to a fierce mother, a fierce father lion. Will you put that lion in an environment that's relatively peaceful? Let's say, for instance, a peaceful shed in the woods in the countryside or whatnot. Well, it's going to grow up. It's going to be extremely big naturally, natural selection, genetics and whatnot of what it's inherited from his parents, of course. Yeah, but it's not going to have that killer instinct that it should have adopted when it was a child. I watch a lot of animal documentaries, so, my brain is mentally on point with this shit. And it's a good reference point for me to make. You have to see it. And they grow really quick, don't they? They grow up, but then like 2 years old, they're already fully grown, 2, 3. They're hunting, they're watching the mum hunt, the dad hunt. How they do it, and they're just following their lead. All right, oh, okay, so they're picking up on these cues, all right, all right. So you don't chase them straight away because it's going to give off your location, all right. Oh, so I need to be sneaky, all right, let me just pounce. All right, let me just do this. All right, sneaky, blend in. You're scared, right? That's the point. You starstruck them animals, then they get them. That clear instinct that those animals have, they naturally picked up, and that was always ingrained in them to have. And so you'll never see a lion pet in a city, but for what most scenarios should be. Obviously, you have the outliers, but in general, they should be in the jungle or the desert. They have that killer instinct, they're equipped, they're raised. Perfect. That's how it should have been. But you put them in a different environment, which is unnatural to them. Well, that lion, and I've seen documentaries of this, it's very true, these animal shows, bro, they like that killer instinct, those animals. They don't, that's why you see they're peaceful. So you see, they'd be really big in size. Really big in size. They could beat up their owner, possibly, and they can. They're strong enough, they're physically strong enough. But they won't. It's not that they can't. They don't even know, they can't comprehend it because they weren't raised into the environment. Same with a human. A human, you give birth to a human, you put them in the woods. They meet a bunch of wolves. Let's say they don't kill the baby. But what's the baby gonna do? It's gonna pick up a wolf's tendencies. Statistics say ages 0 to 7. The most, what would I say? It's the most impressionable. Where you form that brain and all of that IQ. It won't even comprehend that I can speak English. Let's say it's been raised by the wolves for like 7 years. Well, what's gonna happen? Okay. Oh, it's gonna speak wolf language. It's gonna start barking like a wolf. It will start physically moving like a wolf. It will be on all fours. All fours, bro. It won't even comprehend that I can stand on its hind legs. Because it wasn't raised in a said environment. It's raised by animals. And we're gonna reflect it back to the single mother case, right? And I'm speaking to myself as well. Yin and yang. The father is the yin, the father is the yin, the mother is the yang. Us men are supposed to be stoic, right? We are supposed to be stoic, yes. Absolutely. But it will take you a lot longer to realize that if you don't have a father figure. I'm speaking from experience. So when you see a woman shout all the time, their emotions are gonna go up. It's just how they are. Your cortisol levels are gonna rise. You see that her as the authority figure. You can imagine, man. Imagine being a little kid. When you're a boy, obviously you still show signs of like those aggressive masculine traits and whatnot, but it is kind of unconsciously beaten out of you because you don't have that father figure to really be that role model and keep you in check as well. So you see your mum getting angry, shouting at you, you automatically fall into submission. And I don't blame you. You're a kid. I was like that. You see your sisters around you get angry too. They're put on game. They got their mum. You got mumsy. Mumsy putting them on game, letting them know how the world works. They're equipped. And it'll probably be easier for them to find a man in some extent. But at the same time, it won't. because they don't have the father figure to show. But in terms of the feminine traits, yeah, to some extent, yeah. Now, would it be better if the dad was alive? Absolutely. The same way how I said in the beginning, it's better for a man's masculinity if they are the mum as well for that balance. But if we're just comparing two households, same family, let's say the dad is gone, you got two siblings, boy and girl. The dad is gone. It's both fucked up for both of them. I'm gonna keep it a buck. But it's slightly better for the woman because at least she's got that relatability with her family. My goodness. You see that, guys? At least she's got that relatability with the mum. Man, you're kind of cooked. And that's not to say, bro, it's not to say you can't be a man if you're born with a single mother. Because I consider, I'm not a fully man yet, I'm improving every day. But I like to believe I'm somewhat on the right path. You know? You can be a man. Look at Moses in the Bible. He had no father figure. But it's so, they put him on the pond. He was raised by women. He was a good, honorable man, chosen as a prophet by God. Look at Jesus. He wasn't raised by his father. Look how he turned out. Beautiful. In all aspects. I have friends who are single mothers too, who've grown up without, well, let me rephrase that. This is the problem with me talking too quick. I just say things sometimes that just slip out my mouth and I didn't even mean to say that. Let me rephrase. 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. All right, cool. I have friends, well, I don't have many friends, but most of my friends are born without father figures. They turn out really well. That's not to be a complete doom and say you're fucked. You can still recover, but you're gonna have to do some inner work and inner healing and character development that should have been natural and should have been done as a kid. You won't truly realize this until you're a teenager. You may feel as a kid, I feel somewhat odd, but you can't really articulate it to words yet. Most of us do, speak for myself. But yeah, man, you see your woman, you see your mum shouting and you want her to shout and you, it's your instinct to fall into submission because you see the woman as the authority. So when you're in school now, you see your woman shouting at you, oppressing you and whatnot, the feminine energy, you don't have that stoicism, right? You're going to respond the same. You're going to be emotional and shout as well. Fall too much into your feminine intuitive side. You're going to bark back. Ah! Fire with fire, it's only making more fire. And it's sad because you don't know the power that you had and what you should have had and you do have within you. But you didn't have the rest of the role model to learn through. And that's simply, bro, you can maintain yourself as well. She throwing fire at you in a metaphorical sense in an argument, just giving you all this energy. You don't need to reply with the same fire. In fact, it only makes shit worse. You won't realize that until you're a teenager. Well, I'm going to assume you're all adults. You haven't realized that until you're a teenager, haven't you? You haven't? Well, I don't. You get older, and you should have known this as a kid, bro. You can regulate that shit, man. So she's shouting at you and shit. Speaking the same volume pace I am. It's a shout. And it doesn't mean being a bitch. Being silent, being the lower voice doesn't mean you're the submissive man. Don't fall for that. You keep frame. You keep your frame. You still talk with your conviction and your passion. You don't shy away. You make your points clear, but you don't need to go with fire. Because I'm telling you, I've done that from experience. It only makes things worse. Your mum won't tell you this. Your sister won't tell you this either. How old are they? So they know they're acting out of intuition. You need your dad to tell you this. Your younger brother can't tell you either because, well, let's assume you even have you have an older brother or younger brother. You're similar ages. How are they guys? He gonna teach you that? You need a leader, a guidance, a father. And sad that we didn't have that. Shit, I'd say the best thing that happened to me was the internet, man. A lot of people that say, oh, social media is bad. No, fuck no, man. Because I need a lot of these male role models, man. I put myself in a lot of Red Pill game, man. A lot of shit about women I should have known as a child from, a dad. I know a lot of shit just about female nature now. And that's thanks to the dudes on the internet putting me on game. How to actually act as a man, how to speak like a man, how to behave. Because, bro, prior to the internet and consuming Red Pill content and just putting me on game, bro, I was an emotional guy, man. And could you blame me? You're raised by females. I just feel like. I see a lot of feminine men that speak like that, bro. A lot of feminine men. That's how women think. Stop saying I feel like. Say I believe. I'm certain. If you truly believe that in that context, I think. Stop putting some softness into it. No, I just feel like, no, man, you're man. Stop always operating on feelings. That's like conditioning. Because you were born in a single mother household and we need to beat that shit out of you, man. Because then you're going to find a woman. Yeah. And you're going to look, you want her to be mother figure. Mother figure in the sense of, okay, cool, wife material, raise the kids well. But I mean mother figure as in, you want your wife to be like your second mother. Your partners, for fuck's sake. She's a partner, say your mom. You only have one mom in this. Stop, don't do that. Yeah, this video wasn't structured at all, man. It was just pure passion, and just maintained in the best way possible. Try to maintain it in a stoic-like manner, but still addressing my thoughts on the matter. And if a single father, raised in a single household, hang in there, man, and surround yourself with men as well. It's so important. Whether that be on the internet and in real life, you need that shit, man. It's so important. You need that shit, bro. You can't be feminized forever, man. You are born to be and act like a man. God wanted you to act like a woman, you'd be born as a woman. You're not. You're a man. Some people don't know that. Yeah. Some people only when it's too late. And some people, they let that shit consume them and they act out of emotion. You know, I was telling you the temptations I had in certain scenarios in the beginning. I don't want to push someone to just beat someone up. I maintain that because I realized to be stoic. But some people, bro, and women will tell you they want these feminine traits in men sometimes. Your mom will make you better. Your sisters will make you better. They'll tell you what feels good and sounds good to them. But it's one thing I know is about females, they'll tell you to do one thing, they'll do the other. They'll tell you to act emotion. These emotional motherfuckers, men, are the dangerous men on earth. These are the men that are committing knife crimes because their emotions are too high. They can't regulate it. These are the school shooters. These emotional guys. These are the school shooters, bro. These are the school shooters. These are the rapists who can't control their sexual lust. This is why you need a man. This is why men are supposed to be the father figure, the rule. Have God on the top, of course, but you have the father leader, head of the household, because he's stoic. He can make sacrifices that he may not want to do, but he's a man, he's stoic, he understands he's got to do it. You see, in the household, a man can sacrifice and the family's still happy. Duty. A woman can sacrifice. Yeah, but they're not hardwired to do it like a man can. She feeling that pain, she'll make, happy wife, happy life. Yeah. Because if she ain't happy, ain't no one else happy. She'll make sure of that. Men can sacrifice for years and go to war and still maintain the stability of the family. But when there's a woman, the emotions are going to influx and whole family go feel it. So we need masculine figures, man. And I feel for us guys, man. And I'm one of them too. It's not easy. You can still come out the other side, like to believe I'm somewhat on the right path, but fucking hell, I wish I'd have died. Fuck, man.